Hello, everyone. This is Bernard Esubranton in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Offing River Forum. So last week, we have the chance of discussing the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Russia invasion of Ukraine, and I gave several reasons, several factors, of which I said the major reason, number one reason for me is economic, oil reasons, economic reason. Mr. Putin is trying to protect his wallet. And so he want to have total control of the oil supply, especially the oil pipeline, the gas pipeline that runs through Ukraine, for which Mr. Putin paid a lot of money, or Russia pays about $2 billion every year as a transit fee. So, but today's conversation will shift gears a little bit and focus on the concept of press freedom, media, freedom of the press, free speech. That concept, that is what we want to focus on today. But as a political science professor or as a student of political science, I would like to give context. I like to give context when I'm speaking or talking about concepts that are mental image. Concepts are mental images, and so people visualize concepts differently. But that doesn't mean societies don't come around certain concepts and agree on having one, at least something of one, some kind of understanding of what constitutes a particular concept. So in this case, let me focus on the concept of press freedom and trying to relate it to what is going on in Ghana or in Africa, some of the African countries that practice democracy, where we have free press, freedom of the press. And I will use, so the concept of press freedom, for which there are multiple competing definitions, in which we have those definitions are rather, porous and have fuzzy contours. It is kind of this. It will be disingenuous on my part or dishonest on my part to sit here and tell you I have one size fit all definition for the concept of press freedom or what constitutes press freedom. But that doesn't mean, like I said, societies have not agreed on, at least do not have some form of idea about what, or when they see free press, they can see if a society is practicing or encouraging free press. We can be honest and admit that, yes, indeed, this is what we talk about, free press. So let me use, for example, Britain, the 19th century Britain discussion or understanding of free press. So Britain, 19th century Britain, from there, argue or believe that press freedom or press, media, is supposed to serve as an agency of public discussion, a medium of public discussion, an agency for public discussion, in which there are rather competing ideas, or ideas, different ideas, diverse ideas, competing for attention until such time that we have, in quotation mark, truth, or what we consider as a public good. This particular discussions, conversation, or this particular issue or policies serve the public good. So here, if press freedom, if there's a free speech, this medium, this agency, media institution, promote that healthy discussion in the society about public corruption, about government policies, whether it serves the interest of the people or not. This is what means, because if you look at it as an agency of public discussion, it's a place where common people, citizens, have a forum, have a free forum, have a place where they can express themselves, express their frustration, express their support, their disagreement, their discontentment about what's going on in their society. So media provide that kind of agency, that kind of forum for them to happen. There shouldn't be any cynicism or one person or one particular media house hijack that process to suit their whims and caprices. So if that happened, then we don't have press freedom. And so that is basically what press freedom is about. It's about where a marketplace of ideas, where people express themselves. But if you look at Ghana today, like I said, I'm using Ghana in particular because that is where I was born. And so I know a lot about what's going on in Ghana. I hear, I read about it, and I see it. If you look at how Ghana or Nigeria practicing press freedom, it looks like they're taking press freedom or freedom of the press to the next level, different level. In other words, the meaning, the original meaning or intent of the press freedom is being lost because some people within that media institution either has been seriously misunderstood or misconceived the meaning of the concept or what press, the essence of press freedom. And the reason in part emanates from the fact that in Africa, especially, they copy and overcopy. So in other words, if the thing is 1, in Africa, they will copy something and multiply that by 10. So we overcopy. The point I'm making here is there's nothing wrong copying from each other because copying or learning from each other is part of human condition. It's intrinsic part of human condition. We all look at what our neighbors, our friends, relatives, even our enemies are doing, and then we come out with some either countermeasures or innovate, improve upon those things we are copy. But where you copy something, overcopy something in a very cynical way, or just to suit your narrow understanding of that particular thing you copy, then you are not being honest or ethical about the whole process because, like I said, all countries copy. If you look at the United States Constitution, about 2/3, almost all the ideas, the pillars, the foundations, the underpinnings of the United States Constitution are based on the ideas of the Enlightenment philosophers. People like John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, Charles Montesquieu, J.J. Rousseau, those are the thinkers, philosophers, ideas that the United States Constitution is predicated on, is based on. And so there's nothing wrong with that. And we can tell, if you look at Ghana's constitution, either South African constitution, Nigeria constitution, even China constitution, and all that, most of them are modeled after United States. They pick and choose some of them from United States. Part of them, one of them is separation of powers, the concept of free press and all that. It comes from the United States and Britain. A conception of ideas, political ideas. So there's nothing wrong copying. But the point I'm making here is you can't copy and overcopy and trying to change the meaning to suit your own whims and caprices or your own narrow interest, self-serving interest. That won't be, so that is the point I'm trying to make my audience understand that yes, press freedom is very, very important component. Important, as a matter of fact, it's one of the most important, significant aspect of representative democracy or the system of government happening in Ghana, United States, Britain. So and again, the most important drawing line, what separates human beings from animals is we as human beings, our ability to communicate freely with each other. That separates us from animals. Other than that, we are, and animals are almost the same. So communication is very, very important, especially free press, free speech. It's very important. But the point I'm saying is free press comes with responsibilities and obligations and ethics. So if you're practicing free press or you believe in free speech and you want to take that conception or that idea to demonize, to bring your brother or sister or your friend down, that is not what free press is about. But if you look at it today, in Ghana or in most part of Africa, they have distorted the meaning of the concept of free speech. They have overcopied. And that is not what free press is about. In the United States, which is the beacon of democracy, modern contemporary democracy, remember, They wrote their constitution in 1787. After the first constitution under the Articles of Confederation failed, they decided to go and amend the constitution, and they realized they have to start it all over again. So they created the constitution they have now in 1787. And in there, they amended the constitution, the first 10 amendment of the constitution. The first thing they talk about is the freedom of the press, the free speech, the people's ability, American citizens' ability to express themselves freely. But that doesn't mean there's no limit to free press or free speech, because the fact that you have freedom of free speech doesn't mean you can go and stand at the airport, say Kutika International Airport, or here in Atlanta, Hatfield Airport, and stand there and say you have a bomb in your pocket. And then when the police or law enforcement officers come in and trying to get you, arrest you, you claim that, you are exercising your constitutional right to free speech, because that speech can create immediate threat to the security of the environment or the place or the society. So any speech that can create clear and immediate danger is against free speech. And so you cannot just sit there and say you are practicing journalism, or somehow you belong to the free press or institution of media, and therefore you can just hide under that institution and then spit out any garbage or talk about anything you want. And then when we talk about it, you can claim, in Ghana, for example, they will say culture of silence. That's another way of saying there's a government suppression of the free speech. But that's not what it's about. Free speech comes with responsibility, because your freedom ends where my nose begins. So just because you have freedom doesn't mean you can come and stand right there under my nose and speak garbage into my mouth or wherever. That would not be a free press or freedom of the press. So that is basically what it is. So Ghana, or in Africa, we overcopy. And so if you look at how in social media they have taken things to the next level, it's kind of insane. Because United States, like I said, where most of the Ghana Constitution is modeled after the British, wherever, Canada, they practice responsible journalism. Because if you use your forum as a media personnel to demonize or to spit out character assassination of somebody, another person's reputation, yeah, that person can sue you. It's true. So they have laws, Decency Act laws, where you cannot mail or transport or distribute obscenity or pornographic materials. That you can go to, it's against the federal laws, the national laws. You can be jailed, fined, and jailed. So that is what is going on. And so they have, like United States, they have a law or a concept called prior restraint. Prior restraint is where a judge or a court can restrain a particular news outlet from publishing certain information that the court or the government deem as, undermining the security of the nation. Even though it doesn't happen often, yeah, there's laws like that in the United States books. So press freedom is not free. Nothing, at least, nothing is absolute in this world. So if you have freedom to speak, yes, it's a very, very important part of democratic institutions, but it also comes with responsibilities, ethics. And so whilst you are conducting or exercising your free speech or freedom of the press or media, you also have to balance it with what? The common good of the society. So if you talk about coups, that I think this country is ripe for coups, that's in America you can talk about. You can just sit on the TV and talk about coup d'etat, that this country, because of economic problems or economic turmoils happening in a society, in a particular society, the only solution to that is a military coup. What is you call for that? That's causing threat to the very foundation of the society, the sovereignty of that society. And then, yeah, you can be questioned or arrested. And so you come and express, defend yourself why you think coal should be the solution to economic problems facing your country. So press freedom comes with responsibility, and we all have to be mindful of that. And so because you have freedom to express yourself doesn't mean you can just engage in any disingenuous activities that has the potential to undermine the very society or the common good of all. So that is what I have for you today. And so thank you for listening. Next week, we will talk about the importance, the significance of judiciary, the courts, in the concept of rule of law. What make a country viable in terms of the rule of law, or a country that based rule of law it can develop or can be effective based on the interpretation, based on the performance of the court, the important role of the courts, in the democratic government or establishment. So that is what will be the topic for next week. And this conversation is just a conversation, like I said, nothing is scripted. It's just coming straight from here. So you may see some it's not scripted. We're just having a genuine conversation. That is what this forum is about. So thank you for watching this discussion. And once again, this is Offin River Forum. And my name is Bernard Ishibantin in Atlanta, Georgia. Subscribe, share with your friends and relatives. I know it takes time, but on God, on our side, everything gonna be okay. So thank you one more time for watching, and I'll see you another time. Bye.